Hey all, welcome to Homeschool, and I am with the fourth part on a chapter Microorganisms, Foe and Friend for class 8th Science. See, I have already covered 3 parts about a chapter. If you have not yet watched, please go to the links that are provided in the description. And today I am dealing with food poisoning and preservation of food. So first, let us try to discuss about what do you mean by food poisoning. See, this is not a new word for us. Many times we kept on hearing this word, right? Food poisoning. So what do you mean by food poisoning? See guys, when you eat contaminated food, I mean if the food is spoiled by microorganisms, when such food is eaten, you would observe serious health issues like vomiting, loose stools, that is loose motions, right? Or weakness, tiredness. So lots of health issues may arise. Sometimes very serious health problems may come, right? So that disturbance in the health of a person is called food poisoning. Okay, say how can I define this food poisoning? It is nothing but disturbance in health when spoiled food contaminated by microorganisms. How is the food got spoiled? It is contaminated. It is spoiled by the accumulation of microorganisms. Okay. Disturbance in health when spoiled food contaminated by microorganisms is consumed is called, food poisoning. Say, what are the symptoms of food poisoning? It is vomiting, right? Vomiting is one of the symptoms. Loose stools is another symptoms, and various health issues, serious health problems can be observed. It's a very dangerous issue, right? So you have to be very careful when you consume food items. Fine. So that's all about the food poisoning. And now let me discuss about food preservation. Food preservation. So what do you mean by food preservation? It's a process of safeguarding. Safeguarding means process of saving food. Okay, process of protecting food, I can say. Okay, so it's a process of safeguarding food to prevent spoilage, due to microorganisms. Okay, microorganisms is called food preservation. Okay, so you are actually protecting your food from microorganism. You are protecting your food from contamination. You are protecting it from spoilage. Okay, so such a process is called as, food preservation. This food preservation can be done by many methods actually. There are so many methods of food preservation. Okay, so those methods we are going to discuss one by one in detail. Okay, so the very first method is by chemical method. How can you protect your food from microorganisms using chemical method? So we add chemical preservatives. Okay, so how do we protect? By adding chemical preservatives, say chemical compounds as preservatives. Okay, say for example, we have certain chemicals here, right, which we can add to the food items so that spoilage of food by microorganisms can be avoided. Okay, say these chemicals will not allow microorganisms, that is disease causing microorganisms, to come and stay with food. Clear? So what are those chemicals? There are two examples. Note it down. One is sodium benzoate, and the other one is sodium meta bisulfite. Okay, so these are the two chemicals which are added to food packets so that accumulation of microorganisms can be avoided. These chemicals will kill the microorganisms, so that way they can act as the food preservatives. So what do you mean by chemical food preservatives? So they are the chemical substances that will prevent the spoilage of food from microorganisms. Okay, and the next method is by adding salt. See, this is a very common method that we observe in a day-to-day life. So your mothers or grandparents would prepare pickles, right? And the pickles will have a lot of salt. Pickles are very salty to taste, right? So purposefully they add more salt to the pickle. It is because the salt will inhibit the growth of microorganisms. It will not allow microorganisms to stay in a food. Okay, it will kill the microorganism. And salt is also added to meat, right? Say chicken or mutton, when you keep it for cooking, and if you have to store it for 1 or 2 days in the refrigerator, you will add salt and you will keep it, right? And the people who sell this fish, meat, etc., they'll add salt on a meat so that it will prevent the accumulation of microorganisms. Okay, so if any microorganisms are there in the meat or fish, this salt has the ability to kill and to inhibit the growth of microorganism. Okay, it will not allow microorganisms to grow further, right? So that way the salt is also used as the best food preservative. That's the reason pickles and all, they'll stay for months together, right? It's because of this salt, right? And the third method is by adding sugar. So you can also use sugar to preserve the food substances. Jams and jellies. Say for example here, I can give jams and jellies are oversweeted, right? So why they have oversweet is because lots of sugar is added to them, because these jams and jellies are made from fruits, right? So, and you have more chances of accumulating microorganisms in this fruit stuff. So to prevent that, to inhibit the growth of microorganisms in jams and jellies, we can add more sugar. So sugar is one of the natural food preservative that you will find it in kitchen. Okay, and the fourth method, let me write it here. By adding oil. Okay, say the same thing. Pickles, if you take it, you will have too much of oil in the pickles. Again, the same use here. Okay, oil is the one which will not allow microorganisms to grow further. Okay, so this oil actually inhibits. It will inhibit the growth of microorganism. So you must have heard coconut oil is very much good and it will kill the microorganism, right? So coconut oil has that antibacterial property. It can kill certain types of bacteria, and that way it can protect, right? And it can protect many other foodstuffs. Not only the coconut oil, any vegetable oil for that matter, they will not allow microorganisms to grow rapidly. That way, they will act as the best food preservatives. Clear? See guys, the next important method of food preservation is heat and cold treatments. So what do you mean by heat and cold treatments here? So here comes a very, very important word called pasteurization. very important to understand the meaning of pasteurization. You must have seen the Tetra packs, right, which contain a milk. So milk from a Tetra pack can be consumed directly without even heating it, right? So it is much safer to drink. So such a milk we will call it as pasteurized milk. Pasteurization means heating milk at 70 degree for about 15 to 30 seconds. For about 15 to 30 seconds. Then making it cool immediately. Okay, making it chilled immediately. So that this process can prevent the accumulation of microorganism. This process can prevent the growth of microorganism. So such a process is called as pasteurization. So let me write its definition now. Heating milk at 70 degrees centigrade for 15 to 30 seconds. Okay, then chilled immediately. Chilled, that means cool it immediately. Cool immediately. Clear? So this process, if you do like that, it prevents the growth of microorganisms. So this process we will call it as pasteurization, and this was invented by a scientist, Louis Pasteur. Clear? So this way we can protect the milk products, especially the milk, by doing pasteurization. And another thing is it can be a milk or whatever it is, any other foodstuff, say the fruits and vegetables, you can refrigerate and keep it, right? Say any food things you can refrigerate at much lower temperature. Even low temperatures will inhibit the growth of microorganism. Okay, it will not allow microorganisms to grow. They will, the cold, extreme cold conditions can kill the microorganism, right? So by heating or by cooling it, by refrigerating it, can prevent the growth of microorganisms. So that way you can preserve the foodstuffs, right? And the last method that I would try to discuss is the way of storage and packing. Storage and packing. Okay, so you must have observed the pickles or whatever the food items, few of the food items are stored in moisture proof containers or airtight containers. So usually wherever moisture is there, very sooner microorganisms come in that particular area and they'll grow rapidly. And in a similar way, from air also microorganism can enter into foodstuff. So when you store the foodstuff in an airtight container, moisture proof container, then to some extent you can protect that food from the growth of microorganism. Okay, so storing food in moisture proof or airtight container, okay, is a better option for preserving foodstuffs. So these are the different ways of preserving the foodstuffs. And let us recall all the methods once again. By adding chemical preservatives, by adding salt, by adding sugar, and later by adding oil, okay, or vinegar. Instead of oil you can add vinegar also. Vinegar is nothing but the acetic acid. It is normally used in cooking. So this vinegar also helps in preventing the accumulation, that is the growth of microorganisms. And after that you can go for the pasteurization. It's specially meant for the milk. Okay, any heat or cold treatments can be given. And finally the way you store and pack the food is also very, very important. So this way, when you can preserve the food from microorganism, you can avoid food poisoning. Okay, so that's all about the today's class. So in my next class we will discuss the last topic of the chapter, that is nitrogen fixation as well as nitrogen cycle, which is very, very important to understand. So do watch the videos and get a complete knowledge. Okay, and then do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in a easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much. We will meet in our next video.